Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. I hope you all are doing very well, and today we'll be discussing the most important MCQs for 7th and 8th of April 2024. Let's start with our session. The first question is, recently who has become the sole Indian weightlifter who qualified for the Paris Olympics 2024? This is Mirabai Chanu, who is Tokyo Olympics medalist. She secures her spot at the Paris Olympics, making history as the sole Indian weightlifter to qualify, and the IWF World Cup that took place in Thailand. She finished third in the Group B of women's 49 kgs, earning 11th place worldwide. So after a 6-month injury layoff, she lifted a total of 184 kgs at the event, where she solidifies her berth for the 2024 Paris Olympics, right? So Mirabai Chanu is the sole Indian weightlifter who qualified for this event. Okay. Now in the next slide we will see some sport related current affairs. The first question is, Bindya Rani Devi, who was recently seen in the news, belongs to which sport? So she is Birmingham Commonwealth Games 2022 silver medalist, and she secured a bronze medal at the IWF World Cup that took place in Thailand, okay, where she lifted 196 kgs in the women's 55 kgs category. And talking about Kang Hyun Gyeong, she is from North Korea and she clinched the gold at this event, okay. And from Romania there is Michele Cambi, and she has achieved silver medal. Fine. Simply Bindya Rani Devi is associated with weightlifting. B. Sai Praneeth, who recently announced his retirement, is associated with which sport? B. Sai Praneeth plays badminton. Faz Fazal, who recently seen in the news, is associated with which sport? Faz Fazal is a cricketer. Mandeep Jangra, who was seen in the news, is associated with which sport? Mandeep Jangra is a boxer. Mapoin, Rahmukhra and Wapong Sika that were recently seen in the news are the traditional sports of which Indian state? All of these sports are played in the state of Meghalaya. Fine. So all these personalities were in news because of some reason. Here we are only doing these current affairs in one-liner format, so we would be only talking about their field. Fine. Next question is, what is the name of the Indian Coast Guard ship that recently made a port call in Vietnam as part of its overseas deployment to the Asian countries? Here correct answer would be Samudra Peheredar, and the Indian Coast Guard pollution control vessel Samudra Peheredar in along with a helicopter docked in Vietnam, where they continued their Asian deployment. Okay. So crew will focus on marine pollution response, search and rescue, and the law enforcement through professional interactions, training, and the sport events with Vietnam Coast Guard. So they demonstrated India's shipbuilding prowess, and the visit strengthens the bilateral ties and showcases the cooperation. So 25 NCC cadets will join in environmental activities. Fine. So the name of this Indian Coast Guard ship that recently made a port call in Vietnam is Samudra Peheredar. Fine. Now let's see some Indian Navy related current affairs. What is the name of the Iranian fishing vessel which was recently rescued by Indian Navy from the pirates? Recently Indian Navy has rescued one of the Iranian fishing vessel from the pirates, the name of which was Al Khambar. Okay. Recently the Indian Navy has set up its first independent headquarters named as Nausena Bhavan, at which place? Nausena Bhavan has been inaugurated in Delhi. Where were the Indian Navy's annual refit conference 24 and annual infrastructure conference 24 conducted? These conferences took place in Mumbai. Right? Which naval ship was recently decommissioned after providing 38 years of service to the Indian Navy? This is Indian Navy ship Nirupak. Nirupak has been decommissioned after providing 38 years of its service to the Indian Navy. Who has been appointed as the Director General of the Naval Operations in the Indian Navy? This is Vice Admiral A.N. Pramod. Okay, he is our new Director General of the Naval Operations in the Indian Navy. NICES program recently seen in the news is operated by which organization? So NICES program is operated by ISRO and the Department of Space, and this program called upon the Indian researchers to combat the climate change. It was launched in the year 2012 under the National Action Plan on Climate Change. So NICES monitors the climate variability using the Earth observation satellite, and its objective include disseminating essential climate variabilities that are crucial for understanding the Earth's climate. So with over 70 accessible geophysical variables, the NICES program focuses on space-based indicators, weather extreme and climate services, right? So NICES program is operated by ISRO. Now let's talk about some of the important organizations that came into news. The first is Jobs for Resilience report that was recently seen in the news is released by which organization? So this report has been released by the World Bank, and it highlights that the region including India is not leveraging its demographic dividend due to insufficient job creation. So while projecting a robust 6 to 6.1% growth for 2024 to 25, South Asia's output surpasses other emerging markets, which are largely driven by India. So private investment remains weak and it poses downside risk to the growth, and the report further emphasizes the need for addressing the underlying vulnerabilities so as to sustain growth in this region, right? So this report has been released by the World Bank. Which organization recently collaborated with the Tamil Nadu State Forest Department for the successful radio collaring of Nilgiri Thar in Mukurthi National Park? Here answer would be the World Wildlife Fund. Okay, Tamil Nadu State Forest Department with WWF India radio collared a male Nilgiri Thar in Mukurthi National Park, which marks the first collar operation without tranquilization. So Nilgiri Thar is Tamil Nadu's state animal and the sole mountain ungulate in southern India. It has the status of endangered in the IUCN Red List, and its habitat spans the Western Ghat. So it is threatened by habitat loss and poaching, and the species resilience underscores its ecological significance in the high stress environment, right? So here correct answer is WWF, that is World Wildlife Fund. OptiDrop, a microfluidic chip based platform recently developed by which organization? Here answer is C-Camp Bengaluru. Okay, what is the full form? The Center for Cellular and Molecular Platform that lies in Bengaluru. It unveils the OptiDrop, which is a groundbreaking microfluidic chip based platform, and the OptiDrop simplifies single cell studies, which cutting cost and enabling the precise analysis within the domain. Okay, here answer is C-Camp Bengaluru. One Vehicle One Fastag initiative recently seen in the news is launched by which organization? This is the initiative of National Highways Authority of India. A decade of documenting migrant deaths report recently released by which organization? It was released by International Organization for Migration. Okay. Recently, who has taken over as the president of industry body ASSOCHAM for 2024 to 2025? Here correct answer is Sanjay Nair, who is the former chairman of Sovereign Investment Fund. He assumes the presidency of ASSOCHAM for this year, and he has succeeded Mr. Ajay Singh with extensive global financial experience. Okay, and he played important roles in establishing the KKR India operations. Also, he serves on NICA's board. So, he is active in various industry bodies, and now he aims to bolster sustainability initiatives during his tenure, and it aligns with India's developmental objective, right? So, Sanjay Nair has taken over as the president of industry body ASSOCHAM for this financial year. Let's see some of the important elections. Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, that was recently seen in the news, became the president of which country? So recently he is sworn in as the Egypt's president for the third time, and he extended his presidency until 2030. First time he won the presidency in 2014, securing a second term in 2018, and the constitutional amendments in 2019 prolonged the presidential terms to the 6 years, right? So Abdel Fattah al-Sisi is the new president of Egypt country. Recently, who became the 14th president of Pakistan? This is Asif Ali Zardari. Asif Ali Zardari is the new president of the country Pakistan. Recently, who has been elected as the new president of the Paralympic Committee of India? This is Devendra Jhajharia. Okay. Tamas Sulyok, who was seen in the news, became a new president of which country? Here answer would be Hungary. He is the new president of Hungary country. Recently, who has been elected as the new president of International Court of Justice? This is Mr. Nawaf Salam. He is the new president of International Court of Justice. Bala Complex, sometimes seen in the news, is situated in which Indian state? So Bala Complex lies in the Thar district of Madhya Pradesh, and it is a historically contested site between Hindus and Muslims. It is protected by Archaeological Survey of India, and it holds significance as a temple for Hindus and a mosque for the Muslims. So there is an arrangement by Archaeological Survey of India which allows the Hindus to conduct the pujas on Tuesdays, and it allows the Muslims to offer their namaz on Fridays. So what happened is, recently the Supreme Court rejected a stay on ongoing scientific surveys, emphasizing no physical alterations to the structure. Okay, so Bala Complex is situated in the state of Madhya Pradesh. Now let's see some of the important state related current affairs. First is, Sanji craft recently got a GI tag. Belongs to which Indian state? This is the product from UP, and recently it got the GI tag. Recently, which state or the union territory government recently approved the 10% reservations for Pahadis and 3 other tribes? This is Jammu and Kashmir. Recently, which state government launched the Trinetra application 2.0 so as to revolutionize the crime prevention? Here answer is Uttar Pradesh. Banarghatta Biological Park, recently seen in the news, is located in which Indian state? This biological park lies in Karnataka. Attapaka Bird Sanctuary, recently seen in the news, is located in which Indian state? It lies in Andhra Pradesh. Okay. What is the theme of International Mining Awareness Day 2024? So we celebrate this day on 4th of April. Basic aim is to raise awareness and eliminate the landmines. So this year the theme is protecting lives, building peace, and this day was established by the United Nations General Assembly in the year 2005, and it requested the national mine operation capabilities with United Nations support. The day basically highlights the dangers of landmines and strives for their eradication, where it emphasizes the peace and safety for worldwide. Okay, so International Mining Awareness Day celebrated on 4th of April. What is the theme for this year? The theme is protecting lives, building peace. Let's see some of the important days and themes. Which day is celebrated as Ordnance Factories Day annually? Ordnance Factories Day is celebrated annually on 18th of March. Which day is celebrated as International Day of Mathematics every year? We celebrate this day on 14th of March. Which day is celebrated as CISF Raising Day every year? Answer is 10th of March. Which day is celebrated as Jan Aushadhi Day every year? Answer would be 7th of March. Which day is observed as the National Safety Day in India? Answer is 4th of March. Okay. Which region of West Bengal was recently struck by a devastating tornado? Here answer would be Mainaguri. And recently a destructive tornado hit this place that lies in Jalpaiguri district of West Bengal, leaving 5 dead and 100 injured within its 10-minute rampage. So tornadoes, although very rare, but they afflict India's eastern regions like West Bengal, Odisha and Jharkhand, especially pre-monsoon. And a 2016 study by India Meteorological Department noted the increased tornadoes activity in Bengal with fatalities. So rising occurrences in India are attributed to the factors like warming the Bay of Bengal and unusual wind patterns, right? Here correct answer is Mainaguri. Now in the next slide we'll see some of the important cyclones that came into news. First is, recently which country of East Africa was hit by the tropical cyclone named as Gamani? This is the Madagascar. Which tropical cyclone recently hit the northern territory of Australia, bringing heavy rainfall and the strong winds? The name of this cyclone is Megan. Excise cyclone recently seen in the news is conducted between which two countries? This excise cyclone is conducted between India and Egypt. Which region is associated with the tropical cyclone Alvaro that has recently been in the news? Answer is Madagascar. Which state is the host of the India-UAE Joint Military Exercise Desert Cyclone 2024? Here answer is Rajasthan. Okay. Recently, the Forest and Wildlife Department of Delhi is establishing a tissue culture laboratory at which Wildlife Sanctuary of India. So, the Delhi's Forest and Wildlife Department is setting up a tissue culture lab at Asola Bhatti Wildlife Sanctuary so as to propagate endangered native trees. So, the lab aims to regenerate saplings of the rare species facing challenges in natural regeneration, and tissue culture, which is also known as micropropagation, involves growing the plant cells in a controlled sterile environment. This technique basically allows for the production of clones from a single cell, which would help in the conservation efforts for the threatened trees in the city, right? So the Forest and Wildlife Department of Delhi is establishing a tissue culture laboratory at the Asola Bhatti Wildlife Sanctuary. Now let's see the locations of some of the important wildlife sanctuaries that came into news. First is Point Calimere Wildlife Sanctuary, recently seen in the news, is located in which Indian state? It lies in Tamil Nadu. Athur Nagaram Wildlife Sanctuary, recently seen in the news, is located in which Indian state? This wildlife sanctuary lies in Telangana. Pobitora Wildlife Sanctuary, recently seen in the news, is located in which Indian state? Answer is Assam. Rollapadu Wildlife Sanctuary, recently seen in the news, is located in which Indian state? It lies in Andhra Pradesh. And last is Sunabeda Wildlife Sanctuary, recently seen in the news, is located in which Indian state? It lies in Odisha. Okay. According to the World Bank, what is the projected economic growth of India for financial year 25? So the World Bank has revised India's GDP growth projection for financial year 25 to be at 6.6%, and it is up by 20 basis points, right? So despite a slowdown from the current year's estimated 7.5% of growth, robust public investment is anticipated to drive the future growth. So India's Statistics Ministry estimated the current year's GDP growth to be at 7.6%, which is higher than the earlier projection, and the projected slowdown in growth from 2023-24 up to 2024-25 is attributed to the decreased investment, though services and industry sectors are expected to remain strong. Okay, so as per the World Bank, the projected economic growth of India for financial year 25 is 6.6%. Let's see some banking related current affairs. Recently, which bank launched the Flash Pay for contactless payment? This is the Federal Bank. They have launched the Flash Pay for contactless payment. Recently, who has been elected as the chairman of Indian Bank Association? This is M.V. Rao. SANI India recently signed a memorandum of understanding with which bank to provide finance solutions for infrastructure projects in Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. This is Jammu and Kashmir Bank. Recently, Reserve Bank of India has imposed a penalty of 1.4 crore rupees on which bank? RBI has posed this much amount of penalty on Bank of India. RBI recently signed a memorandum of understanding with which bank to promote the use of local currencies? This is Bank of Indonesia. They have signed this MOU with RBI so as to promote the use of local currencies. Last is LEADS Program 2024 is recently released by which organization? Here answer would be C option, Indian National Science Academy and the National Center for Good Governance. And this program took place in New Delhi from 1st to 7th of April. It is a collaborative effort between the Indian National Science Academy and the National Center for Good Governance. It aims to cultivate future leaders in science and technology, promoting visionary leadership and scientific excellence in India. Basically, the professors and scientists from various prestigious institutions participate here, and it is supported by NCG's governance training and INSA's scientific excellence promotion, right? So LEADS program is recently released by which two organizations? Answer is INSA and NCGG. Fine. Now let's see some of the important and the recent launches. First is Scores 2.0 initiative that was recently seen in the news is launched by which institution? This is the initiative of SEBI. Yunhai 302, an environmental monitoring satellite, recently launched by which country? This is the environmental monitoring satellite of the country China. START 2024, which is a space program, recently launched by which organization? It was launched by ISRO. Recently, the Election Commission of India launched which application to facilitate easier voting for the persons who are above 85 years of age and the PWDs with 40%. So this is the Saksham application. Okay. Recently, the naval forces of which three countries launched a joint exercise near the Gulf of Oman? These three countries are China, Iran and Russia. They have launched a joint exercise near the Gulf of Oman recently. So these are the most important current affairs and the news from today. And now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions. And at the end of the lecture, do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Nuzhat Sana signing off.